The day has finally come. Many of you have been requesting a video on how to launch an application as a web service, interact with APIs for each module, and build your own application. Working with APIs becomes essential when you want to integrate the application into your projects through requests, or when you only need a specific module that requires automation. To create this video, I rented a gaming PC with an Strax 3090 GPU and 25 GB of video memory on Windows 10. However, 8 GB video memory is sufficient for normal operation. I also rented a server on a mouse, as shown in the video, with Ali payment. Please be cautious with this service, as you need to delete the created server afterward, otherwise it goes into reserve and charges continue. If you choose to use a server instead of your PC, take note. Be careful with this service, as after creating a server, you need to delete it, otherwise it goes into reserve and charges continue. If you purchase a Linux server, you'll need to download a PEM file and connect to the server via CPS. For Windows, you can download an APD file and use Reminer for connection, or any other APD program. When dealing with servers, pay attention to the CUDA version. It should not be below 11.8. Ensure an CD disk is present, and consider video memory. It's better to opt for processors higher than Strax. Visit the official website or GitHub repository wiki by searching for Wunjo AI GitHub Ladrakensha. The GitHub wiki provides instructions on building dual CPU versions, changing the directory where the program is stored, and downloading neural network models in offline mode. In the Telegram blog Ladbog, there's a bot you can ask about program functionality or how neural networks work. Try it out. It has a quirky personality resembling Scott Pilgrim with a touch of Rick Sanchez, but is ready to discuss Wunjo if you include the keyword in your question. Next, download Nvidia drivers CUDA. Firstly, install CUDA drivers not lower than 11.8. You can find the links on the official website. Installation takes 30-40 minutes with NCD, perhaps 50-60 minutes with NDAD. Remember, this video is for developers. Ready-made builds are available for users. After installing CUDA, you can download and run them in GPU mode or use them portably. To build your own, you'll need Python 3.10. Download the installer from the official website and install it as an administrator, adding all necessary paths. Download the code using either git clone or by downloading the archive from GitHub. Since this video deals with post and get requests, install Postman, which you can run without authentication. Now, onto the interesting part, installing Python dependencies. For demonstration purposes, I downloaded PyCom. Firstly, create a virtual environment, either using console commands from the documentation or, as I did in the video, through PyCom, and then activate it. Start by updating pip, setup puddles, and wheel. Next, install do dependencies using the requirements do. HTTPS file. However, installation main in an error displayed on the screen if Visual Studio C is not installed. Install Visual Studio C or demonstrate installation from the official website's installer and how to install components if not done initially. After installing Visual Studio, you need to install pip dependencies from the requirements .tsts file again. Open Python, check if CUDA is available, and you'll likely get a message stating otherwise. Refer to the documentation and use separate commands to update Torch for the due version and install Figfamous. In the next Python check, you should see that CUDA is now available. During the first program launch, you may encounter messages about Trident and Wildcard. Don't worry, as the program works on Windows without them. Run the program in developer mode using Briefcase Dev. Now, onto creating your build. After building, you'll get an X file for Windows to run the application as a regular program, even from a flash drive. For Ubuntu, you'll have a build that runs through Briefcase Run, but it's not a problem to create an installer with any file size through Briefcase Package and get a deb package. Building on Windows has its peculiarities. One of them is that due versions for Torch, Torchivision, and Transformer don't download automatically. To address this, go to the virtual environment we created and simply copy these libraries. In the Transformer library, find the log file and delete the line that won't work during the build. This way, the build is ready. If your code changes, you only need to update resources and refresh the project code without manipulating the libraries. Run our executable file by clicking or using briefcase run. Let's transition to working with the API. But before we delve into that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on new videos about Wunjo AI and other projects involving neural networks. We cover topics ranging from training neural networks to API usage. For now, let's focus on the API. Remove Flocksui and replace it with a simple app run using a port and host of your preference. I use the host 0.0 to enable remote connections through a static IP. Let's launch it on the local host 127.0, 0.1 with port 8000. And there you have it, our application is up and running. Finally, we've reached the API part. Open Postman, select Post and enter the local host with the chosen port. In our case, it's a local host with port 8000. Navigate to the application and choose any module. Let's start with the mount animation. Add the necessary input files, required parameter settings, values, and execute. Note the red message indicating that some models are missing. They are loaded automatically. However, if you click on the message, you can manually find information on where to download these files. These files represent neural network models, our artificial intelligence. Open the developer console in our application and observe where the request is sent and the content of the request. Now, there's no need to open the application. Simply copy the request body to Postman. Select the necessary parameters. Pay attention. Files must be stored in the Wunjo AI directory and in the request body. Enter only the file name, not its absolute path. If you need the absolute path, a short code modification easily corrects it. Upon executing the request, we receive a status to 100. Similarly, for deepfake faces, after adjusting parameters in the UI, change the video duration in the interface and observe the requests. No need to delve into the code, just use post and get requests. Repeat this process for each module. Open the developer console and inspect where the request is sent and its body. This way, the application can be utilized for your development needs. For instance, if you only require video manipulation through text, object removal in your application, etc. Deploy Wunjo AI, send post-get requests. Then package the project, install it on your desired device, and use the pre-built version that already includes all dependencies. Just run it and get to work. That concludes the tutorial. Join on Vlad Redchenko GitHub. Subscribe to YouTube to stay updated on new videos about neural networks. Until next time.